clients were so freaking annoyed. She was like, Ellie, I can't take it. This guy, he has this weird habit of like picking on his nose, like touching it all the time. And I just like can't take it. Should I drop him out? And I was like, no, 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 don't drop him. Let us create that deep emotional intimacy and trust. And then you tell him. Another client said that, oh, I'm dating this one guy and he's amazing. He's kind, he's handsome, but I cannot stand his like smell in the mouth. I literally cannot stand it. Should I drop him? And I was like, as well, telling her, not yet. Don't drop him yet. Not yet. But you get to have what you want. So then my client who had this nose problem, she literally told him after they got to know each other a little bit, he trusted her that this kind of confuses her. She doesn't feel good. And guess what? The guy leveled up. The guy leveled up and doesn't pick on his nose in front of her anymore. And then the other client of me, she told, as I mentioned, she told the guy that, hey, I really don't enjoy the smell of your mouth. She literally said this. And then the guy actually had, I don't know if he even noticed, but he had some problem with his teeth. He went to a dentist. He was brushing his teeth as he never brushed before. And guess what? They are happily dating now. Okay, they're happily dating now. And that is why those little things, they they are not red flags. But it doesn't mean you have to accept those. A man who has a gut level attraction towards you would love to make you comfortable, will love to make you feel happy, and would love to make you to do things for you. Okay, so dropping a guy because of this is not a good idea. So when you're dating and you have a guy doing something that you really don't like, okay, but it's like a little thing like that, before you drop him, make sure you connect a little bit. Okay, so maybe you go on a date or two and you follow my coachings, all my tips and tricks I share on this channel, I share on my courses, that you connect to his heart. Okay, so you create a level of trust, and then you tell him. First, you ask him, can I give you some feedback? I open for that. Okay, and then you tell him that it doesn't make you feel comfortable when when he does this behavior like picking in his nose or picking in his teeth or like having that bad smell. And honestly, mostly it won't happen to you because millionaires, top 1% men, don't behave like that. Okay, and yet you're all human. Okay, and also some millionaires are just really nerds. Yeah, some millionaires are just like having a lot of social skills, but some millionaires are nerds. They don't know properly how to behave with women, and then we have to be extra forgiving, especially if you're with some nerds in science and they are just like forgetting. And another thing is people get comfortable within the months, right? Like if it's like a few months in, he might forget. He might think, this habits of him being alone kick in, and then he might forget. Okay, so therefore those little things get to be said, get to be shared. And then when you're dating, you're not looking for Mr. Perfect, 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 perfect. Of course you're looking for someone who's fulfilling all the non-negotiables, like being wealthy, being a provider, being kind, being loving. Those little things before you drop a guy, make sure you communicate it. I know it can be embarrassing. I hear you. I like my client was like, really? I have to tell him? I have to tell him his breath smells? I'm like, yes. If you tell me he's a good guy, if you tell me that he treats you well, but his breath smells and you want to drop him, tell him this. Tell him this. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but if the man is really into you and caring, he will brush his teeth or go to the dentist. Like, that wouldn't be an issue. Okay? And then we have those really, really, really small things that I also have clients that feel annoyed by it. For example, food differences. I mean, it is kind of personal. If you really cannot stand meat, for example, you are a vegetarian, you cannot stand this, then okay, then it is what it is, right? Like, if just know yourself. But if it's okay for you, then don't look for perfect, even if he has different taste in food or something like that. I'm personally mostly, not always, but mostly carnivore, so eating a lot of um, animal products. Yeah, so I'm open to people eating whatever they want to eat. But these are things where you don't have to look so detailed in it. Okay, so I want you to focus on the non-negotiables, that the man is loving hearted, that the man is kind. He's of course affluent, a millionaire, okay? He's a provider. But then there will be little things between the lines that you will not like about him, and you get to communicate it, okay, before you drop him. And then there will be little things that you don't like about him, but they really don't matter, okay? And I highly encourage you to kind of like remind yourself it's okay. Those little things don't matter. Maybe you will not like his jacket, or you will not like his shoes, and don't worry about those things. After you're married, you're in a relationship, you can influence him and his dress code and stuff like that, okay? So really sit down with yourself, writing down what are the things that are my non-negotiables, what are the things that really matter in a relationship, and what are the things that I have to speak up because the guy maybe doesn't realize that his breath smells, or that he's picking on his teeth all the time. Yeah, if you guys are especially dating already for a few months, he maybe just behaved like he behaved alone home. So you get to speak up those things, and also being aware that you're not looking for a second you, okay? So if you want to have someone who's so perfect like you have to stay alone. But people will have behaviors which you don't necessarily like, but those little things, remind yourself it's okay, like some little things like not having the jacket that you want him to have, or having other food preferences than you, or maybe even a little bit different music preferences. Those things should not break our relationship. There's a way to compromise, okay? To compromise on the music, to compromise on the food, or even like, let's say, both people eat different food. That's it. Yeah, but you have to really go inside of you, reflect what is it that's really non-negotiable and what is negotiable for me. And I highly encourage you to be extremely strict with your non-negotiable points, um, and to be flexible with the points that are negotiable, and to not pick off on them. Yeah. Okay, with that, thank you so much for watching. And if you would like to have support on your journey, reach out to me for a free love audit call. So if you would like to have a marriage proposal this year, you don't want to wait anymore. You want your dream man, your top 1% man, a man who's loving, caring, and of course a millionaire. Reach out to me. Let's have a free first call. Don't be shy on that. Those are limited. I'm not gonna be offering them forever. So the link is gonna be in the description box. Check it out. Okay, and then happy Easter. Enjoy your holidays and see you soon. And give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching.